you guys, welcome to my kitchen. So I've been saying for a while now that I wanted to start doing cooking videos, and so today is going to be our first Cook 127, or maybe I'll call it Food 127. I haven't decided. But today we're going to be doing a super simple recipe. It's something that will definitely impress people, but it's very, very easy. It's a simple roasted chicken. The way I do it makes it a lot quicker and easier to cook a chicken. It's kind of foolproof. Like, you're definitely not going to get this wrong, especially if you like know your way a little bit around the kitchen. I wouldn't say I'm like the best cook in the world, but I kind of know how to do some things. I also want to say my hair is wet right now. I washed it today. I'm trying to give it a little bit of a break from all the heat because look at these ends. Not okay. And I also like wanted to pull it away from my face so that there's no hair in our food. But yeah, we are going to start with our chicken that we have here. I'm gonna actually tilt the camera and all that so you guys can see like what I'm doing a little bit better. But yeah, welcome to my kitchen. Oh, and I also did want to say that this roasted chicken is going to be like a little bit Puerto Rican style just because that's the way I cook everything. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, but I was raised by my Puerto Rican mother and my Puerto Rican grandmother that taught me how to cook basically everything. If I didn't teach myself, they taught me how to cook it, so it is going to be a little bit Puerto Rican style, but I wouldn't say like all the way. It's kind of like somewhere in between American Puerto Rican, you know? But it is going to be very, very delicious. So I'm going to tilt you guys down so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, you guys, we have our chicken here. This is a 3.5 pound chicken. I've already cleaned it, which means I put it in my sink and ran some water over it and put a few splashes of vinegar on it and kind of like rubbed it around just to clean the chicken. Rub the outside, also the inside. Usually when you get like whole chickens like this, they come with a bag with like the organs and stuff inside, so I obviously chuck that out because we won't be using that. But now I'm going to show you guys how to cut the chicken so that it's actually a lot easier to cook and cooks a lot more evenly and also cooks a lot quicker. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to cut it. This might be a little bit intimidating, but it's super easy and simple, and if you have a pair of kitchen scissors, then you're really good to go. Okay, so basically this is the chicken breast side up. We're going to flip it over so that you can see the backbone, which is this part here. I'm going to take my kitchen scissors and I'm just going to find the backbone and basically cut it out. You're gonna do this so that we can lay the chicken like flat. If you feel like you're hitting a roadblock, just move your scissors like to the left or to the right so that you can kind of get around it and basically just cut the backbone out. So that's one side out. Get the other side. Okay, yeah, you guys, this is the backbone of the chicken. You can save this. You can like boil it and make some chicken stock with it, or I don't know, I'm probably just gonna chuck it because I really don't think I'm ever gonna make chicken stock with it. Okay, so now that you have the chicken cut, we can actually flip it over. And you're gonna wanna press down on the breastbone, which is like the top part up here. You're gonna wanna press it down. Okay, maybe I did it wrong. Oh, I think it's already broken. Okay, so mine is already broken. I don't remember that happening. You want to feel around so that the breastbone kind of clicks and it breaks so that you can flip around the leg parts so that they look like this, so that when you put it in your pan, it lays completely flat and it can cook more evenly, because most of the time when you roast a chicken, the dark meat, which is the legs, can take a lot longer to cook because they're on the bottom and they're a lot thicker. But when you do it this way, the leg meat is on the outside, and the outside of anything is going to have more heat hitting it, so these are actually going to cook. These are going to cook just as fast as the breast, so they're going to be cooked all the way through, but you're not going to keep it in there too long for them to cook and then have the breast dry out. So it actually makes life a lot easier and more delicious. So now that we have it all cut, I'm actually going to take my cast iron skillet. I'm going to be baking the chicken in this just because I love this thing and I feel like you can do everything in it. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and take my chicken and put it in the cast iron skillet. And then we're going to use this chopping board. I'm going to clean it off and then we're going to use it to chop some garlic and also like season the chicken and everything. Okay guys, so now I have my bowl and I'm going to start chopping and mincing my garlic. So I have 4 cloves of garlic here. They're not peeled yet because I want to show you guys how I do it. It makes life a lot easier. So you're going to just take 1 clove of garlic and a knife, and then you're just going to press down on it, and you can very easily peel off the skin of the garlic peel, or the garlic peel. It comes off like immediately, and then you're just gonna go ahead and do that to all of the cloves. Okay, now we're gonna use my favorite tool in the kitchen. This is my garlic press, and literally Meech will tell you this is my favorite tool in the kitchen, because you put a garlic clove in there and then you just squeeze it and it freaking chops your garlic perfectly. So I basically just like keep sticking them in because it comes out the end, but you kind of have to like chop it off because it doesn't come out all the way. So I basically like squeeze all of them, and then I'll go ahead and like chop off what's hanging out of it, and it just makes chopping garlic so much easier. Like, if you've ever chopped a tiny clove of garlic, you know how frustrating it can be to like get it like actually tiny, and this just makes life so much easier. So yeah, get that off the end, and then you can just like scoop your finger in here and get all of the other good stuff. I cook everything with garlic, like literally garlic, salt, and pepper is in probably every dish I've ever made in my life. So if you're not a fan of garlic, this is probably not the video for you. Can't live without garlic. You'd think I was Italian. But I think actually Hispanic people use a lot of garlic in their cooking as well. So yeah, then I'm gonna go ahead and just take all this garlic and throw it in this bowl. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take my favorite olive oil of all time. I know I'm biased because I'm Puerto Rican, but Goya olive oil is fucking delicious. So I'm just gonna pour probably like 1/3 of a cup in the bowl. I don't know, I just kind of eyeball everything. I'm not too big on measuring. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take a packet of sazon. This is another Goya product. Promise, there's gonna be a lot of Goya products in this video, but I promise not sponsored. I wish I was. That would be the highlight of my life, for Goya to send me free shit. But this is just like, it's a packet of seasoning that's gonna give the chicken a really nice kind of orangey golden brown color. Very typical of most Puerto Rican cooking or Hispanic cooking to use sazon. And then also this is Goya adobo. It's just an all-purpose seasoning that tastes good on everything. It's gonna make everything you eat, whoa, that's powdery. It's gonna make everything you make taste delicious. I don't even know how much of that I put, probably like a pretty generous amount. This is, if you don't want to add any additional salt, that's fine, because this does contain salt in it. But other than that, I do a little bit of onion powder in the bowl. So we're basically making like a little bit of a wet rub. And then also a little bit of black pepper. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and take a spoon and mix this all together in the bowl until it's like this nice paste. Smells fucking delicious. If you want a little bit more, I think I'm gonna need a little bit more for this chicken. I'm gonna put a little bit more olive oil just to kind of thin it out. I think the flavors are all there, but I think I need like it to just spread a little bit more. So once you have that all mixed up, you can just get your chicken and basically just start massaging this entire mixture all over the chicken. It also really helps if you lift the skin off of the chicken and like rub it under the skin. That's really gonna help it marinate and taste delicious. You can also do this like overnight, marinate it in like a bowl or something, and then keep it in the fridge overnight. But this guy is going to be going in the oven immediately. There's enough flavor there that it will taste just as delicious without like marinating overnight. But if you did let it marinate overnight, it would just be more penetrated into the meat rather than just on the skin. But when you do eat this, you're going to basically have a piece of skin in like every bite. So that's why I'm saying massage it in so it gets into the meat as much as possible. If you're really grossed out by touching raw meat, then maybe have like your husband or your boyfriend or your brother or father or sister or brother, whatever, do this for you because massaging it into the meat is absolutely necessary. And like I was saying before, to just lift the skin off of the meat and just like tuck some seasoning under there. So yeah, as you can see, the chicken is a nice, beautiful color. You're gonna wanna make sure that the legs are kind of like fanned out so it's laying complete, so the bird is laying completely flat. Make sure you tuck these little guys in under the wing because those can get burnt quickly. And if you do like those, I do, then you're gonna wanna make sure that they're not like too charred to a crisp. Actually poke a hole in the skin right where this little thing lays, and you can tuck it into the hole of the skin and it'll keep it nice and protected. Sorry if I'm still a little bit stuffy. I am still feeling a little bit under the weather, but it's kind of just a cold. You gotta let it play out itself. If you are a fan of onions, you could totally do some onions or some peppers in the bottom of this pan and have it cook with the chicken. I don't really like big pieces of onions, and me and Meech both hate peppers, so that is not something we'll be doing here, but it will add some more flavor to this if you do cook it with some onions and peppers in the bottom of this dish. My hands are so disgusting right now. But yeah, it's basically good to go. I think I'm actually going to sit this in the fridge for like an hour or so, because Meech isn't gonna get home for a while and I want it to be like hot when he eats it, so we can do a little bit of a taste test. So I'm probably just gonna cover this guy and pop him in the fridge and then put him in the oven later, and I'll check back with you guys when I'm ready to do that. I did forget to say though, preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and then I'll let you know all of the other cooking instructions when this guy's ready to go in. Okay, you guys, we are back. Our chicken has been marinating. I just put some saran wrap over it while it was in the fridge. Now I'm gonna go ahead and chuck this. So it smells delightful. I've been preheating my oven at 400 degrees. I'm gonna pop this in the oven and we're gonna leave it in there from 45 minutes to an hour. I just like to keep an eye on it. I usually leave it in for a little bit closer to an hour just to make sure everything is nice and cooked. If you would like to, you can cover this in the oven with some aluminum foil or something, but I like the skin to get really nice and crispy on top, so I'll just go ahead and pop it in just like this. The cast iron is really gonna cook it really nicely and make it like nice and juicy and delicious. So I'm just gonna pop this in the oven and probably throw some potatoes and some Brussels sprouts in the oven too to roast those to go along with this, but that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's super simple. You just throw it in the oven, set it, and forget it. So when this is all done, I will take it out and I'll show you guys exactly what it looks like. It's gonna be delicious. Okay, you guys, as you can see, the chicken is out of the oven. Hold on, let me like lift it a little for you guys to see. It looks beautifully golden brown. It smells amazing. I cannot wait to dig in. I actually decided not to throw vegetables in the oven to serve with it because we had the same vegetables last night and I don't know, I don't want to be bored. So I have some risotto cooking on the stove that's going to be done in a few minutes and we'll eat that with that, but I just wanted to show you guys how beautiful this looks. It smells amazing. It was super simple. Once you have the right seasonings down, you can just pop it in the oven and you can whip this together any night of the week as long as you have a little bit of time, because it does take like an hour to cook, but in that hour you can go ahead and cook your side dishes, clean the kitchen, and once this is out of the oven, you're like ready to serve and get down and grub. I'm gonna do a little bit of a taste test for you guys because that's the best part of any cooking video, so I'm gonna grab a knife and a fork. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little piece off the top over here. Ooh, this is part of the breast and it's really nice and juicy. Very tender. Let's see. Macho, are you smelling this and you're coming to get a piece? I know you are. Oh, it's a little bit hot, but the breast meat is really nice and juicy, which is probably the hardest part to make juicy. The skin is nice and crunchy, so you get that little bit of crunch with the flavor, and everything is really nice and perfectly seasoned. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I feel like the cast iron pan really makes the difference in like cooking it and searing and all those flavors. I love it. Cast iron skillets are like the way to go with everything. You can bake in them, you can sear in them, you can roast in them, you can do anything in them. I got mine at Bed Bath & Beyond for like $20 or something like that. Really not that expensive. But yeah, you guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this cooking video, make sure you go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments any other recipes you'd like for me to try out, anything specifically Puerto Rican you'd like me to cook, or something that you've tried to cook and didn't go so well. Maybe I have a good recipe for it. Just let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see more of these videos and what recipes you'd like me to try out. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all again on Tuesday. Bye.